The truth about tariffs: smart strategy or a hidden tax? Tariffs have stormed back into economic debates, largely thanks to Donald Trump. He wielded them like a weapon, both as a bargaining chip and as a supposed fix for America's economic woes. His vision: a return to the 19th century trade policies that, at least in theory, helped the US grow without an income tax and protected booming industries. But could that really work today? It's a fascinating question because, if true, tariffs might just be the golden ticket to lowering taxes and revitalizing America's fading industrial heartland. And even the biggest free market economists admit there are times when tariffs do make sense. After all, major economies like India, Brazil, and China still use them aggressively. But here's the catch: the world today is nothing like it was back then. American consumers are used to cheap, imported goods flowing through complex global supply chains. Slapping tariffs on imports would throw a wrench into that system, forcing businesses to hike prices just to survive. And that means, whether we call it a tax or not, consumers would be the ones footing the bill. So the real question is, are tariffs a smart economic strategy, or just a sneaky tax? To figure this out, we need to break things down. How do tariffs actually work? What can we learn from surprising case studies, like chickens and washing machines? And most importantly, can tariffs be worth it, even when they come at a steep economic cost? Let's dive in. And before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more breakdowns of complex economic issues in a way that actually makes sense. How tariffs work, and why they're more than just taxes. At their core, tariffs are simply taxes on imported goods, paid by the businesses bringing them in. They fall under protectionism, or what some call economic nationalism. The goal is to make foreign products more expensive, so local industries become more competitive. This sounds great in theory. Domestic industries grow, more jobs are created, and the government pockets extra revenue. This strategy, known as import substitution industrialization, has been a key part of economic success stories worldwide, and no country's history is more intertwined with tariffs than the United States. Tariffs were a major part of America's economic DNA from the very beginning. In fact, the second law ever passed after the US Constitution was about tariffs way back in 1789. Alexander Hamilton. Yes, the Broadway guy admired Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, but he believed America needed a strong manufacturing base before it could embrace full-on free trade. Europe was already deep into the Industrial Revolution, cranking out steel, textiles, and machinery at scale. America, not so much. US industries lacked infrastructure, capital, and skilled workers. Competing against established European manufacturers in a free market would have been impossible. So, tariffs stepped in to protect American businesses. By the late 19th century, the average tariff rate on key imports sat above 40%, and it worked. US industries boomed, federal revenue soared, and for a long time, America didn't even need an income tax. But, and this is a big but, tariffs weren't universally loved. While they helped industrialization in the North, they crushed the agricultural South. European countries hit back with tariffs of their own, making it harder for Southern farmers to sell their cotton and tobacco abroad. This only added fuel to the fire leading up to the Civil War. Fast forward to World War II, and the US did a complete 180. America was now a global superpower, ready to embrace free trade. New technologies made global supply chains more efficient, and the idea of comparative advantage took center stage. Countries focused on what they did best, rather than trying to produce everything themselves. And for decades, this worked. The world economy boomed, and global trade became the norm. Until 2018. That's when the US, the biggest champion of free trade, suddenly flipped back and imposed major tariffs on its biggest trading partner, China. And this gave us a real-world experiment. So, what happened? The washing machine experiment. When tariffs backfire, one of the best studies on tariffs comes from an unexpected place: washing machines. When the US slapped tariffs on imported washing machines in 2018, American manufacturers had a golden opportunity. With their foreign competitors facing extra costs, US companies could step up, create jobs, and grow. But here's what actually happened. Consumers took the hit. The companies importing washing machines passed the extra cost directly to consumers, raising prices. Domestic brands raised prices too. Even though they didn't pay tariffs, they saw an opportunity to charge more. Collateral damage. Dryers got more expensive. Even though they weren't taxed, their prices jumped too, since people buy washers and dryers together. The result? American consumers paid $1.5 billion more for appliances. That's $815,000 per new job created in the industry. Not exactly an efficient way to boost employment. And washing machines were just the beginning. Steel tariffs in 2018 led to higher prices for countless industries from automakers to construction firms. The result? Job losses in steel-using sectors outweighed the jobs gained in steel production. And then came the trade war. China retaliated with tariffs of its own, hitting American farmers hard. To prevent mass layoffs, the US government ended up spending $61 billion to bail them out, almost cancelling out the $66 billion in revenue from the China tariffs. So in the short run, the evidence was clear. Tariffs were just another tax on consumers. But what about the long run? The real role of tariffs today? Economic tool or political weapon? So, should America bring back widespread tariffs? Probably not. At least not like before. The world is too interconnected. If the US imposes blanket tariffs, businesses will likely move production to another country rather than bring jobs back home. But in some cases, like semiconductors, energy, and rare earth minerals, tariffs might be necessary. When national security is on the line, self-sufficiency matters more than economic efficiency. At the end of the day, tariffs are just a tool. If used strategically, they can work. If used recklessly, they backfire. The real challenge, finding the balance. And as global tensions rise, that question is more important than ever. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us keep making content like this, and we really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.